Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. Bitcoin ETFs back in the news. Crypto legislation moving forward. Sologenic and introducing XRP globally, that is. We got the Palau stablecoin. Attorney withdrawals from the SEC versus Ripple. We'll give you the latest. We got this. Ripple still figuring out the summary judgment. Well, we got a lot of questions we could throw on the table while they're figuring it out, and you're going to get them today. And how about this? Will XRP skyrocket 2,397% to 26 bucks? One Bitcoin maxi actually thinks so. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, cryptocurrency market cap is $1.23 trillion. It is up 0.2% in the last 24 hours. And I want to let all of you know right now, if you're a credited investor, click the link underneath the video for link2.com, because let me tell you something. Right now, they're dropping $1,000 worth of XRP on you in your wallet for every $10,000 you invest in Ripple. Come on in, get some of that. Yeah, it's a happy Friday afternoon. That's how Link2 does it. But it's a limited time offer, so do not mess around. Click the link for link2.com. Now, look right here. Bitcoin 29,300 plus, Ethereum 1874 and change. Tether market cap 83.8 billion plus. Ladies and gentlemen, 71 cents at the number 4 spot for XRP. We're off by 1.7 in the 24-hour and 8% on the 7-day. I want to remind everybody right now that the Digital Perspective Mastermind group is a group that I am proud to be a part of. I'm a member just as much as anybody else. This is a remarkable opportunity for you. Whatever you envision yourself as an investor long term, you're going to get there faster by being in this group. There's no mistake about it. I have witnessed it myself. I am benefiting from being a member in this group as the hundreds of others that are. I encourage all of you to join this group, make the investment into yourself, get in this group. There's a special 3-day free trial. Take advantage of it. Find out what's going on in here. Trust me when I tell you, it pays to be around like-minded people. Make that investment. Get in this group. You're going to be glad that you did, like everyone else that's in there now. Take a look at this. Bitcoin news. In a letter to the SEC, Grayscale Chief Legal Officer says Bitcoin ETFs should all be approved simultaneously for the benefit of Bitcoin, the market, and investors. Boy, I'll say so. Can you just imagine for a second if they approve Grayscale, BlackRock, Vanguard, Valkyrie, Invesco? I could go on, I mean, the video, we only make the video so long. We got to stop somewhere. But imagine this. All ETFs, spot ETFs getting approved on the same day. I think that would be quite a cause for a trigger of a bull run in this market if we did see such a thing. So this is one of those, key points that we have to pay close attention to in the space, because Bitcoin still dominates the market, still has dominance over all the other coins, right? Use case utility is not price driving XRP at this point. So if we were to see a spot Bitcoin ETF approved, and in a very, very big way, like mentioned here, in a simultaneous fashion for all of the applicants, oh my, it would be a flood of money moving in to this system. It would also tell me that if that were to happen in that way, I want to be very clear, that would be a big signal at my house that means that the traditional market is about to take a huge dump. And while all of that's going on, U.S. politicians are making progress on passing 2 crypto bills that will introduce reasonable crypto legislation. Not just regulation, legislation is the way that goes. Nevertheless, we are moving forward. Now, we still have a ways to go. I'm not trying to wet blanket this thing, but it's a process in the U.S. courts or government process here. So we went and we passed out of the Financial Services Committee out of the House. Then it goes to the House of Representatives, full floor vote from everybody in the House. When it passes there, it'll go over to the Senate. It's going to have to go through what it does there. If it passes there, it's going to have to go to the president's desk in order to be signed, if not vetoed. So that's our process there. And if something's changed in the Senate, it'll have to go back to the House, get voted on and approved. And usually you'll have like Speaker of the House or somebody like that's heading it up, Patrick McHenry, heading up the stablecoin legislation in the Financial Services Committee, who would be able to come in and say, hey, the changes you've made, we'll definitely be able to pass that, so go ahead and make them. But we'll keep you up to date on it. But that's the process. And I do want to stay positive with this because we are further ahead than we ever have been for legislation for crypto in this regard. So it is a monumental step forward. It is historic, although we're not all the way home yet, right? And here we see Uphold and Sologenic partner to introduce XRP purchases globally. I'm not going to read this whole article, but you know all of this is based on Topper news that we talked about. Sologenic joins forces with Uphold to integrate new on-ramp solution tailored for the XRP ledger. Topper brings high approval rates, rapid settlement speed, and global access to XRP and Solo, including the US. How about that right there? Yeah, we love it. And not only do we have the Palau stablecoin pilot live on the XRP ledger, the public XRP ledger, you can go watch it and watch all the transactions. And I think this is fantastic. Look, you can go see all of this stuff right here. Now, I love that, and shout out to XRP Scan for making it available. But the big takeaway here is the Palau stablecoin is a government-backed stablecoin. Period. Full stop. That's amazing news, and it's on the XRP ledger. And this is what it looks like. Shout out to Jay Anson for sharing the screenshots and all of the news of the Palau stablecoin that we've been getting over the last few days. That looks amazing. Look at that Ripple logo right there. I love it. And look at that. Doesn't it look so easy to use here? There's your balance, send money, pull payment, my wallet address. What else do you need? I love it. Keep it coming. Breaking right here. This is an update very quickly here. XRP attorney withdraws from Ripple versus U.S. SEC lawsuit, but it's good news for Lisa Zornberg, who withdraws because she has now been appointed as chief legal counsel by the New York City mayor, Eric Adams. Congratulations to Lisa. And this is in order. John Deaton says, I would like to congratulate Lisa Zornberg. Not sure if she's on Twitter, but I've had some dealings with her in the past. And she is super bright attorney and a genuine human being. Great attorney, but even better human. And we love it when it's like that, right? We do. We really do. Now let's deal with this very quickly here. The fallout from the ruling of Judge Torres in the SEC versus Ripple for the summary judgment ruling. Mr. B shares this out. Shout out to Nick Burafedo from Link2. To me, this means financial institutions in the U.S. can go live with on-demand liquidity anytime. Originally in the use of XRapid, now ODL, financial institutions could source XRP through exchanges, which they still can today. And I think that's exactly right. That's how I understand it. And obviously, P.S., XRP is not security. According to the summary judgment, are ODL-related sales now considered securities? And we know that in the judgment, the institutional early sales were really labeled as securities. David Schwartz had responded the day after the ruling, we're still figuring this out. We don't currently have ODL-related sales with a U.S. nexus, and not being able to do so is not really a huge deal. We can still do ODL in the US so long as XRP is never sourced from Ripple. So there you have that. But you have to get yourself to a place where you start asking the question, banks going to want to source like through ODL partner ultimately? I mean, they could do it in the interim, right? For sure, as long as it's not directly from Ripple, we get that. But there's some questions here. First of all, if there's an appeal, which I hope they do not, but if there's an appeal, will the IPO be postponed because of an appeal? Number two, just ODL, we know that they can still use Ripple Liquidity Hub and access the source, the use of XRP through that, not directly through Ripple. And that's amazing too. So there are ways to get around it, and we know that. But we have to understand too, what about the banks? Are the banks really happy at the end of the day, asking themselves if they are just happy being a market participant and getting the benefit of the savings without the exposure to the volatility of XRP's price movement, although it's in a 3-second window? Or are banks smart enough to realize it is their liquidity, it is their utility that is going to drive the price of this asset up, because they have the coffers to buy a lot of it, they have the liquidity to get it, and they have the utility to bring to the network to make it a really useful asset because they have the demand for the payments. So would you be happy if you were the guy that was proposed that you had enough money to buy a lot of it, but you're told you can't get it at OTC desk prices or pre-allocated option contract prices? You going to be happy buying it at retail? Institutions are not happy with that solution. I can tell you that right now, right? And we know it. So it puts things in a bit of a quandary. So then you're left with, well, what do they do? I had a great conversation with a DPMG member, William Lawley, shout out to him, who proposed, what if the companies and banks have locations around the world and decide to let their location in Dubai buy a bunch of it for JP Morgan in Dubai and not the US? Possible. But what about the idea and understanding that Gary Gensler doesn't even operate within the confines of the SEC's framework now? You think that he would see a move like that from a large institution operating from a different region of the world and not think that, hey, this is you trying to work around what the law just said as a matter of law? I don't know. I find that to be, a challenge in a sense, right? Then there is the idea about contracts. What about the pre-allocated option contracts that were cited as unregistered securities? Are they unwound? Are they frozen? What happens to them? Are they allowed to execute them but not any others? What happens to ones that may have been executed already to a degree, right? There's great questions in all of this, and we have to wonder where we end up here. So this is just some of the questions that we want to be asking ourselves about where things go from here. Don't forget, outside the U.S., institutions can still buy directly at those option contract prices or OTC price. They can get large amounts for a guaranteed price, as you cannot do if you're a U.S. institution buying directly here in the States. You would be forced to go to the secondary market. And obviously, institutions are not having that. So there is this moment we're in now where I believe everybody's trying to sort through the fog of war or the fog of this decision from Judge Torres and figure out the best way forward. And I think we're still in that moment. And I think it's okay that we're in that moment because Congress is now moving. Then there is the other side of this that's been proposed because of the judge's ruling. What about other projects like Ethereum, who had VCs early in, unregistered security there, with the way they participated in early sales in the raising funds for Ethereum? Isn't every one of those projects now a default unregistered security? When's the SEC going to pick up and start going after all of those projects? The questions go on and on and on, and they just get deeper. They really do. This isn't over, is the point. And Ripple is still sorting this out, the best way forward. And yes, banks can still participate in Ripple Liquidity Hub, but as a market participant at this point. And I know damn well, if I understood that you're asking me because I've got all the money to buy this stuff up, plus my business model is perfect for your asset, and I'm going to come to your network and use it and drive the value of this thing up over time with the amount of payment flows I'm going to do daily, monthly, yearly, and you just want me to be a participant, oh, hell no. I'm going to want to hold it too. Then we have this. A Bitcoin analyst projects XRP price to skyrocket 2,397% to $26. Now, there's no guarantee where it will go. We all understand that. But there is something on these charts that tells all these technical analysts that they could see in an extreme push beyond that $10 to $15 mark. You could see it extend to like that $25, $27 range we keep hearing about. But this is, you know, we don't know what will happen, but it struck me because this guy here, Captain Fabic, or I don't know how to say it. So, Captain, we appreciate your time. We appreciate your effort. He says here, XRP could potentially reach $25 to $30 in the next bull run. However, it's essential to remember that we're currently in accumulation phase, so don't FOMO into it. Keep accumulating gradually. Hold with patience, he says. Bull run is just a matter of time, and this is it right here. Just to look at the chart a little closer, I had it open and it closed on me. So here it is right here. And shout out to him for sharing that with all of us. We'll see. You know, what if we're wrong and it all goes down? Look, anything can go to zero. I'm not being a wet blanket. That's what it means to be a speculator in this space. And it's what I love about being here. And I'm here for it. And I know you are too. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Happy Friday. Join that Digital Perspectives Mastermind group. I'm telling you, I am proud to be a member of this group. And it is an incredible community that does some enormous critical thinking. There are huge resources we can tap into with the knowledge and experiences of each other. And we can be stronger together. And we can advance in leapfrogs to where we could do on our own. No doubt about it. I'm seeing it happen already. I'll catch all of you on the next one.